Hi, welcome to another episode of Remote Art Talks.
Today I'm happy to be speaking with Alex McLeod. Alex is a Toronto-based artist that uses technology to create sanguine simulated landscapes and other artifacts of nature through animation, print, and 3D sculptures. His print and video work is collected by several major corporate and government institutions, including Global Affairs Canada, and he's currently represented by Division Gallery. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
So you play with ideas of the unnatural and natural coming together in your work. And as you've written on your website, you're concerned with the simulation and the transition of matter. Why are these important themes to you?
I think, the transition to matter, when you say it, you're like, yeah, okay, like that means nothing. It's almost like so nebulous. But for me, it was like being in cemeteries and seeing trees that were grown above graves and seeing that the bodies of those people were somehow a part of these trees now. It's like their cells broke down, mutated, and then it's like everlasting. So this beautiful like visualization of a cycle, life cycles, and interconnectivity. Like the air that's in our lungs has been through generations lungs. Like we're connected to everybody, whether we see it or not. And I think that's really what motivates me to produce the work I do.
Do you feel like when you create those landscapes, where do those ideas come from? Like, do you reference nature a lot? Are they purely just like out of your head, or?
Yeah, a lot of it's process based. So I might go in and think, oh, I'm gonna make a certain type of landscape. Like it might be, like I'm gonna make a rocky desert, and then it ends up being a frozen tundra. So much happens like in dialogue with the software and the hardware and like limitations and what looks good. Like I never sketch. I just start working, which can be like sometimes difficult if I'm working on a project with more than one person, to try to communicate like what I might end up making. I don't know.
Yeah, like nature kind of has like its systems with math and all that sort of stuff, and then you see a lot of that in technology, and you're kind of bringing those two things together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of parallels, and whether it's we model technology after nature or it's just these are systems that work, I think that there's a lot of beautiful correlations.
Cool.
Yeah.
When I was so I saw your show at Division Ghost Stories, which was last year, was it?
It was. I mean, it's still up in Montreal. So
okay,
they
great.
had it in Toronto, then they moved it to Montreal. It would be up now if the gallery was open.
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I've seen you do 3D sculptures.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little?
That was the first time I did it at that scale. I kind of toyed around with the ideas, here and there, and I finally was like, okay, I need to expand my practice. It's been like a decade of doing prints and videos, and this is a whole another avenue. I'm more capable of doing it now because before, like, I'm not very good at 3D. I taught myself. I studied painting in school, and I couldn't actually make a 3D file that was printable. But now I'm a little better. It's like 10 years later, kind of know how to use the software a bit. So I can send files to print, and they'll come out looking like they should. It's such a big learning curve for me, But I like that. I like kind of tinkering and figuring out what works for the software. I have a piece right here that I made recently.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to like reach out and touch it.
Yeah, it's real fun. It's so these were kind of inspired by fabric and textiles and patterning, and I think there's so much akin to like the pixels on a screen and a stitch. It's like one block, and then in combination they create so much more. And then wrapping that idea of the exaggerated stitch over the 3D form. Yeah, and then it also having its own dialogue and creating its own kind of weirdo shapes. Was kind of special to me. So yeah, I'm really enjoying. Yeah, I'm enjoying how this is going. Sometimes I paint and flock them after as well, so they have like a fuzzy surface. Yeah.
Actually, I mean, this is sort of. I mean, you have a great sense of fashion, and I know you obviously enjoy combining like textures and colors together. Do you feel like there's some crossover, like influence between your work and how you dress, or?
Yeah, I mean, everything is like an expression of, everything can be an expression of an individual. So It's like, let's do it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. It was originally like an icebreaker, to be honest. Like I would have to going out of art school, like all I knew was art, right? So I get thrown into like galas and things like that. And it's like suddenly I'm in rooms with people who aren't art people. Now how do I have a conversation with them, right? So I used to like, it's like Cheeto brooch or like just like funny things to kind of break the ice. And I was like, oh, fashion is a really cool, like level playing field. Like a lot of people can use that as an entry point to start a discussion or a conversation. I was like, oh shoot, okay, cool. So I can have fun with this.
Oh, that's actually so interesting. And that's true. I feel like that's sort of like the easiest compliment you can give to a stranger. Like, I love that coat, or like, you're killing it with those glasses. And
exactly, it's so nice to be able to bring something into somebody's.
You know, with coronavirus impacting all these like art events, and being aware of like through social media and conversations with people about how art openings and galleries and art events have all had to basically push pause indefinitely until things clear up. It was really interesting to see how like it's almost like you've already not anticipated it, but on your homepage you have like a virtual simulation of someone going to a show of yours. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's so weird. I made this it's like a 5-minute animation. I made it to be it looks like basically like a walkthrough through a gallery, but then the sculptures start moving, and then it's like really odd audio, and it's just really it's like an art film. But at first you're like, oh, this is just a virtual tour, and then you're like, oh, this is an art film. And you're like, did I just watch art? Like I think it's really interesting, but I wasn't releasing it, and then a friend of a friend hit me up on Instagram and was like, hey, like I want to score one of your pieces, and I was like, well, I got this one that no one else wants to touch because it's so long. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I sent it to him, and a couple hours later, he sent it back. He did like a live set, and this fellow Alex, and he's amazing. He's like a Grammy like award-winning composer producer.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Let me put it on the internet, because now it's like, oh, I can use Instagram TV to release longer animations. And there's been a spike with how much activity there is on the gram, because everybody's on their phone now, because what else are we going to do, right? So I thought it was a perfect timing to do something like have that representation of a real space in a virtual space, and kind of toying with what that idea could be like. I think we'll see a lot of cool artist projects coming out of this. I just got off a call with a company in New York that does AR, and we're talking about like, you know, it's like working on some projects together, and I'm like, yeah, this is the time to do a lot of things that are disruptive, that maybe wouldn't have been accepted as much or embraced as much as now. So I think, I'm like optimistic with this weird time that we're in, that good art will come from it. I'm actually, like, as of today, I'm back in the studio. My friend Lido Pimienta is a musician. She's been doing a lot of visual arts now to augment. She was supposed to go on tour, and then they canceled all these tour dates. So she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna make artwork and sell it on my website. So we're doing a couple of things together. So I'm making a video for her right now. I got
oh, awesome.
Yeah, I got some like online projects that are happening, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, because now suddenly I have a ton of work, although it may not be paid work. It's good stuff to keep busy.
Other than Lido, who are some other artists that you think people should check out?
I think Tess Arlo did a live Instagram drawing thing yesterday or the day before, and it was real fun, because at first it's like, okay, he's drawing and we're watching, but then he's like, who wants to join the drawing thing? And then he did like a exquisite corpse, so like the top part was him, and then the bottom part would be another artist. So like Nestle was drawing the bottom, he was drawing the top, and they had all these different artists come through, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing, because like this probably wouldn't happen in real life ever, to have this many visual artists collaborating on something like that, just like a spur of the moment thing. Brendan Tang recently he released like one of his sculptures, but like as a paper craft.
I love Brendan Tang.
He's so good. So
good.
It's like you can download it, I guess, off his website and print it out and like cut it out. So it's like a polygonalized version of one of his vases. So it's like, oh man, like you can't go to the gallery, but you can make your own. You know?
I know. We just have to like get a printer now. I feel like printers are these things that I feel like up until like this year, suddenly everyone needs a printer now. Prior to that, we were all like, we don't want a printer. That's just junk. Now it's like, I want a printer.
I've been that guy who's been printer loyal since the 90s.
That's great.
I had
That's
a
great.
printer.
You're keeping it real. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to head into the rapid fire question round. So I'll basically ask like 5 questions and you just answer them with whatever you think of off the top of your head. So what's a talent you wish you had?
Athleticism.
What is the last good book you read?
I'll shout out Boom. So Boom, it's cool. It's written by a Vanity Fair author, and it kind of traces like the boom of the commercial art world. Because it's kind of ridiculous how we have like, you know, Gagosian's with 16 galleries, and every show has like multiple $1 million pieces, and you're like, whoa, like how is there this much? Like the contemporary art market has boomed, and it wasn't like this in Picasso's days. So it's like tracing that back, and like the dealers that made it happen, and it's just very interesting for me as a visual artist to be like, okay, yeah. I like reading kind of the backstory. It's like it's art related, but it's not really about the art as much as it's about the I don't know.
Well, yeah, economy, psychology, just like culture. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
If you could be someone else for a week, who would it be?
I would be a magician.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know any magicians, and I think their world is so wild. I create magic in one way, but they create it in a whole nother way. So I think that would be cool to see how they see the world.
Yeah, cool. What's your favorite item of clothing?
Oh Lord, it's so hard to say. This like I love everything equally. I got these. I don't know. I got these gold shoes I really like, but I never wear them because I'm so afraid of like ruining them. So
you can wear them at home all day, every day now.
I guess you're right.
Before we say bye, is there anything that people out there should know about what to look out for from you or how they can find you?
Yeah, just find me on Instagram. Hit me up. I have a website. Everything is fine. TikTok is fine. Everything. Twitter. What am I working on? Just a bunch of the same stuff I have been for the past decade. I was supposed to have 2 shows later this year. I doubt those will happen. Who knows what the future will bring? But I hopefully you'll keep Instagram at least like as a place that serves a purpose and that like continually replenishes art and gives like little gifts to people. Hopefully. Yeah. I think that'll be the most active space is Instagram for now.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Alex.
Thanks so much for chatting and stopping by.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Follow this project using the hashtag #RemoteArtTalks and make sure to follow our guest artists on Instagram.
Artifire is a Toronto-based platform created to help people discover how art can be fun. Go check out artifire.net or follow us on Instagram at artifirenet.
For artist followers of Remote Art Talks, Partial Gallery is offering a discount on pro artist plans. Partial is a curated online directory of noteworthy independent artists. Go to partial.gallery, create a free profile, and use the code REMOTE to get a 10% discount on your pro plan.